Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jesus, Crepes, and Coffee. I'm Lauren, and thank you for joining me today. Today's episode, we're going to be diving on into more of our mini series here on this channel. And today is all going to be about different Bibles from my personal collection. I really love collecting Bibles. I think they're beautiful. I have found that so many different Bibles out there have really amazing different resources, study guides, theological points of view, just different really neat Bibles. So I love to collect unique Bibles. So I'm going to go through some of my collection here, and I'm always looking to collect a new Bible. If there's a Bible that you really like, let me know because I'll get it and add it to my collection. So the first Bible today is actually, I sewed this little cover here for my Bible. And this is the very first Bible I read cover to cover, and it's this one, the 1 Year Bible. This Bible I've read twice. The first time I read it completely through was in 2012. The second time I read it completely through was in 2023, and that was actually after I had met Jesus. When I had my encounter with Jesus, is what led me to reading this through completely for the second time. What I did, so my mom had got this for me for Easter one year, and I had tried to read it before, but if you've never read the Bible, you start out, Genesis, if you're just starting out, is a very hard book to get through for the first time. But what I absolutely adore about this Bible is it's every day of the year. It has specific readings for you to read through. So, like for this has an Old Testament reading. It has something from the New Testament. So it's got a section of the Old, a section of the New Testament, and then it's got a section out of a Psalm, and then it's got a piece of a proverb. This is so good. So you're kind of getting Old Testament, New Testament, a Psalm, and a proverb. And it's for every single day of the year. And my very, very first time I ever read through the Bible, I actually wrote some notes. That was my first time completely reading through. I just have a few sticky notes. I have a few more in here that have come off over the years, but so that was really neat. That was my first time. I thought it was transformative and amazing. Now, jump through until 2023 when I had my encounter with Jesus. Look, all my notes, my tabs, my stickies, because I was full in. And I love the way this one smells. I don't know if you're a book nerd like me, but books just have this Bible has such a unique and cozy smell to me. It makes me think of the many mornings I'd sit on my chair with my dog Riley, who's now in heaven, and also my cat Ruby, who is also now in heaven. Unfortunately, they both died within just a few months of each other, which was devastating, but they would cuddle with me, and Benelli, my Vishla, would cuddle with me on my chair. And it's small, it's compact. And I was nervous at the time to write in my Bible. So I would just do little sticky notes of the things that stood out to me. And I did that throughout the whole thing, which is cool because then you can still see things, it's tagged. But this Bible, I love so very much. I love it so much that it's actually coming apart. This is one, honestly, I would love to send in and maybe get it rebound in leather. And I'm actually going to dive back into this one. I might put this one on my nightstand again as part of my nightly reading. I highly love this Bible. I really just love this Bible. So this was the first one in my collection. If you're new, maybe, and this is the NLT translation. So that one's kind of in the middle of the spectrum. So it was easier language to understand if you're just learning. It doesn't have any of the thou, art, thy, that older language. So I really am excited to share this one with you. I love this Bible so much. I love this Bible. The next Bible, as you all know, my duck commander, New King James Bible. This is the one I use, as you know, every day on our channel. This is the second Bible I actually have read all the way through. I love this one. This is very special. I've read this one through a couple times now. And as you know, I am a little bit more brave on putting notes, highlighting different things in my Bible. I love it. So my New King James. This is my favorite translation, actually. Highly recommend this one. And I actually have it again because I told you I like to collect Bibles. I have it again. So this is how big the Bible was when I got it. And this is how big the Bible is. My Bible is now. With all my notes and tabs and how thick it is. But this is the exact same thing. The Duck Commander. This one kind of has like a wood grain. It's like that soft. I really like soft cover books, especially Bibles. They're comfortable to me. They're very easy for me to read. Convenient to pack, travel along, smooth. So this is this. And I love it. That one so much that I had to get a couple more. There's also a green colorway, which I have. I have the hardcover colorway. I actually found another one in my brown one because it is my favorite Bible. But I just love to collect different Bibles. And I bring this one down on the trails with us sometimes when we're doing our study. So if I need to go through, and if I have a page that's pretty covered in sticky notes, it's easy for me to open this one up to be able to read it to you guys. This one is unique in the sense that there is sections in here, like life-changing stories. But if you look throughout this Bible, there is writings, and I'm trying to flip to one for you guys, so please bear with me, that are like words from Phil and Alan. Alan is Phil's oldest son. But little stories in here with some scripture backing the real life stories. And it goes along with where you are at currently in the Bible. So these are neat. Little stories sprinkled throughout this one, which is so much fun. Really recommend, if you can find yourself a Duck Commander Bible, I get this one, King James, just for the stories, the different things that are in there. The next Bible I want to share with you, and I talked about this one in episode 2 of our podcast, which is different Bible translations. This is the Message. So this is the one that is more of like a summary. It's not a word for word translation. Very easy. This is a good one. It's got a big font. My aunt sent this one to me, and I like it as a study tool. Like sometimes if you're coming across language, especially if you're reading like the New King James, which I'll go into this Bible in a second, but if you're reading into some of the language, you're new, doesn't really make sense what you're reading. This is great to pair along with other Bibles because you can open this one up, read the summary of it, and it will tell you like a summary. So let me actually go to, and I'll read this to you. So let's flip to Isaiah really quick. And I will read to you out of my New King James, and I'll read to you it out of the Message, and you can kind of hear the different translations. So my favorite one is Isaiah 41:10. I'm going. So it says, or 41:13, I apologize. Isaiah 41:13 is my favorite Bible verse. I also like Isaiah 41:10, but this one, for I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you. In this Bible, in the Message, this one says, don't panic, I am with you. There's no need to fear. I am your God. So this is a really cool one. This one's special to me. Like I said, my aunt was so sweet and sent this out to me. So I like to use this one in like a study, especially if you're just learning the Bible. Definitely get this one. And it's soft, it's pretty. Next, I have 2 more Bibles to actually show you. This one is the Holy Bible. This is the King James Version. It is the God Bless the USA. I don't know if you can see this. It's textured. It's pretty. I'm in America. So this was cool because it's specialized to America. You know, in the back of the Bible, it's got things that are for Americans. Like God Bless the USA. It's got our Declaration of Independence. It has, which is absolutely beautiful because it's like in color. The Constitution. What else does it have? Just all sorts of neat little study materials, like the Constitution. That's a really neat thing to read through in our own country. Our Bill of Rights. So like the foundations of our country is in here. The Pledge of Allegiance is in here as the jets are flying. So it's funny to talk about American stuff when the base is going. So this one is very soft. It's an this is like an imitation leather too. And it's got Jesus's words are in red, which I really appreciate when Bibles have God's word, Jesus talking in red, because I was telling you guys, like in my new King James and my Duck Commander, he's not in red. So I have gone through and highlighted all of his words in pink. Just because that is how I can correlate between, even in the Old Testament, when God is talking, I've highlighted it in pink. So when Jesus is talking, it's in pink. So I want to read to you another example out of this one. And we're going to stick with my Isaiah 41:13. So this translation, for I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. So you see the language is different, but this is another beautiful Bible. Beautiful. It's pretty on my shelf. So that's that one. Now I have one more to show you. I'll be right back, actually. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. So the last Bible I'm going to share with you guys out of my collection is this one. It's another women's study Bible. This is the NIV translation. This one I'm currently reading in because this is what I'm using in my personal study in the morning. I've added tabs to this. I really love a good Bible tab because I like to be able to jump to different books in the Bible pretty quickly. This one is pretty neat. It's got little facts throughout here. Like, see, I've highlighted God's words. It's got little facts. Theological foundations of the headship. It has sections where it talks about different people in the Bible in a little bit more depth to help you understand. This one I really appreciate because in the beginning of each book in the Bible, it has some pages. So like we're in the beginning of Isaiah. So it tells you who the author is. It tells you when this book is estimated to have been written, the background of the book, so the setting, the purpose, the audience it was written to, themes, and then it gives you like an outline. So this is a really great Bible. This Bible was gifted to me by what now I'm thinking was like a messenger from God, or maybe even an angel in disguise. When I was in the middle of working at a challenging job, and she had just randomly came to my work, was dropping off some donations, and we were talking, and she just gave me this. She just gave me this Bible. And I was like, oh yeah, thank you so much. Wow, this is pretty. Like, it's a hardcover. I wish it was soft cover, but it's a hardcover. And it was like God was planting a seed at that time, getting me ready. Because a few months after I was gifted this Bible is when I really hit my lowest of my low. I had lost that job. But I had my encounter with Jesus Christ, which is such a powerful thing. And actually, and here's a way I know this is a beautiful nugget. The day that I had met Jesus was actually the day I had watched an episode of The Chosen. And I'll go way more into depth into this. I'm going to do a video specifically all about my testimony, and I'll talk about this more. But I had randomly opened this Bible. Granted, like I had already read this Bible, the one Bible, this one once back in 2012. But this one, I had randomly opened it after watching an episode of The Chosen. And when I opened it, it was exactly what I had just watched in The Chosen. And that was when the disciples were chosen, like when Jesus called the disciples to be his. And that was very powerful. I wish so much that I could go find this woman who gave me this and tell her thank you, because this has been huge. Like that was kind of like the start of what helped me to become where I am today. But this is a few of my Bibles, and actually every single time I'm going to be reading through the Bible cover to cover, I'm going to read a different Bible version. So right now I'm about halfway into it. I got old tabs on here, but halfway in. So I'm going to read this one once I finish this one. And what I'm doing is I'm reading like I started with the NLT and then the New King James Version. Now I'm reading the New King James, but also the NIV. Once I finish this one, and I'm studying out of the Message, but then I'm going to jump to the King James Version, because I should have a stronger little foundation by then and I'll be able to understand this better. I don't recommend if you're just starting to read the Bible for the first time, I would not recommend jumping into the King James Version. Now, unless you get the King James and the Message together and read through them together to help you understand what is being said here. It's all your personal choice. But aren't Bibles beautiful? And they all have such rich information and knowledge and help. But this is just a few out of my collection. I eventually do want to read my way through every Bible translation there is. That's my goal. And we'll see. But I hope y'all have enjoyed hearing about these Bibles. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have a favorite Bible? Do you have a favorite Bible version? Please let me know, and thank you so much for joining me. As always, you guys, please email me at JesusCrepesandCoffee@gmail.com. I love you so much, and thank you for hanging out with me. Bye!